It's the final game of 2024 as Wasps come to University College School playing fields to take on U.C.S. It's been a highly successful calendar year for Will Jones's men, and they will hope to reverse the result that these two sides played out in September. They'll have to do it without captain Fraser Warren today though. He's out injured, while Gabriel Hartwell will take the captain's armband. It's still a strong side though, front row containing Dougal Johnston-Stewart, Barney Hartwell and David Cohen in a strong front row. Alex O'Farrell and Mert Zabke are in the lock positions, with Alex Graham and Joseph Young at flanker. Sam Richardson is today's number 8. It's a strong backline as well, with Diego Garces de Marcilla and Oliver Pell, the half-back pairing. Ollie Boss and Siabonga Mahalangu are on the wings, with Captain Hartwell and Ollie Clagg in the centre. A familiar face of Konrad Paliowski takes the full-back position. Two substitutes today in McCabe and Faulkner will be looking to make an impact when they come on. But can U.C.S. finish this particular year on a high? We're halfway through the campaign. It should be a cracking game. It's U.C.S. versus Wasps. Neil Wharton blows the whistle to get the game on. Wasps, a famous name in the world of rugby, of course, but UCS, no admirer of traditions, as they will look to end what has been an incredible year on a high. Of course, promoted to the second division, along with Verulamians, of course. Found this particular season pretty challenging, to say the very least, as the kick goes over the top from Diego Garces de Marcilla, and it's bobbling all over the place. Can Wasps clear it up? Yes, they can, and they might look to launch a counter-attack here. This is a really strong run and a great pass inside. This is real enterprising rugby from Wasps early on, and they will turn the ball over now, with Wasps now looking to come forward. That was Ollie Clagg with the run into the defence. We're very unlucky to lose last time out with UCS, unfortunately failing to win their game against Tabard, but nonetheless won't take away what has been a fine campaign. There's a chance here for Malangu to come off the wing and show what he's all about, as Pell looks to hold play up. Ollie Boss there in the ruck area, and a penalty to Wasps for the infringement, which the kick will go to touch. And it is a long kick from Connor Foley, and it's been given as out, whereas Konrad Paliowski can hear some of the players that don't think it actually went out. The linesman, though, very adamant that it did go out. Well, that's going to be a controversial one if anything comes from this, as Wasps in reasonable position here down the middle. That ball's bobbled up and the player's been allowed to go on, and they are going to score from this. Wasps, I think, in the corner. They are going to go in, are they? Yes, they are. Well, that is a real controversial try, to say the very least. Well, we'll certainly review that a few times here. And again, it's a flip out the back. Looked like it may have been an error at one point, but it certainly brought some power plays into the equation. And between the Wasp side, they've managed to get the first try of the game. Kick from the touchline, and as you can see, these blustery conditions, to get that through the sticks has been a good effort indeed, as Wasps have started very strong here. They've had a fine campaign of Wasps so far. They're up there at the top end of the table, and will be looking to get themselves a crucial win if they're to really put the pressure on the teams at the top. Currently in third position as the ball is out of play on the far side. It's a high tackle, as you can see, and surely there'll be some repercussions here. Again, the referee will issue the yellow card, and it's going to give a chance here for a kick to touch. We're at the halfway point in the season. U.C.S. in 7th spot, hoping for a win to close out 2024 to maybe give them a chance of getting further up the league in 2025. Would certainly be a fine achievement for them to do that, as they look to register some points here against a lightened Wasps team with that sin bin and a chance out wide. We'll see a try. They have registered one, and Marlangu goes over in the corner. It was the U.C.S. winger that was on the end of the high tackle that led to the sin bin, and eventually Wasps have just run out of numbers. Lovely lofted ball from Diego Garces de Marcilla, and a strolling for Marlangu. And potential for U.C.S. to level the game up here. So the kick is not a bad one, but again, these blustery conditions and horrible weather really are making it very, very difficult for goal kickers today. But they are in striking distance as the pass comes over to this near side. The offload is very well done, and Ollie Boss will pick it up. Marcilla in field as Pell looking to bring some strong forward play into the team here. And a high kick will be batted back. It is still with U.C.S. And they will recycle possession. And now the chance here for a run into the midfield from Mert Zabki. They've got another big chance here of U.C.S. Again, the ruck is scrappy, and the tackling is huge from Wasps. And I believe they also will have the scrum here if the referee doesn't allow play to go on. The kick over the top won't go out of play. The line out flicked back, and Garces de Marcilla throwing the dummies. What can U.C.S. come up with as we tick closer to half-time? A tight one, this. Marcilla. Lovely ball out the back. Was that to handle? No, says the referee, and Wasps play on. And a strong return from Sean Collett will lead to Wasps getting the ball on halfway. A long looping ball out wide, but that surely is going to result in the linesman putting his flag up. Well, it doesn't. Well, that's not the first time today that the linesman has missed something, because surely Joseph Gillespie had his foot in touch, but the linesman waving play on. There'll be a scrum here to Wasps as well. There's the penalty. It may very well be a penalty, actually. There's the scrum fed by Wasps as a risky ball out the back. We'll look to see them counter from deep, and it's not a bad run, this. Real strong return as Wasps make their way up the field. The offload will come in, and they've got chances here. Ball out wide. Infield they come through Collett once more. And Collett is going to be put down in midfield. Can they recycle the ball here? And it's going to be Foley to try and get in there, but it'll be a penalty to Wasps. And they're going to take the shot at goal here. And straight through the sticks. Well, even in this horrible weather, you wouldn't bet against them converting from that distance. It's Xavier back who makes it Wasps 10, U.C.S 5 at the half-time break. So can U.C.S get themselves back in the game here? Trailing by 10 points to 5 at half-time. They will be hoping that they can register the first points of the second half to give them a chance. That didn't look straight, but then again the wind and strong rain really taking that ball towards Wasps' side, and now they have a chance to get close to the line here, rumbling on. Can they get some quick ball here? Well, it's not the quickest. It's a short little pass which will look to bring some big forwards on here, and U.C.S have got a job to keep Wasps at bay here. Picked up from the base of the ruck, trying to get their way over. Have they given the try? Well, I'm just trying to see what the call is. We can't see what the referee's given. As the dropout is a good one. Really good one. That's going to force Wasps right the way back to their own line, and Josh Gillespie will clear the lines, and again it's out of play. Short and throw at the line out. And the ball now making its way towards the try line. They're going to have to be strong here, U.C.S. Can they keep Wasps from getting over? They're very, very close here, and they're rumbling on. Can they power their way in? Yes, they can. Well, it's unspectacular, but it's effective. And whereas U.C.S needed the first score of the second half to give them a chance, it's Wasps that have registered it. It looks like it may be James Cook who's gone over. But that's a blow for U.C.S. Xavier back will look to convert. He struck it well. And again, making light of these conditions. Wasps 17 points to 5 to the good here. U.C.S can maybe have a reply here. Infield it goes as Graham sets the position. Diego Garces de Marcilla out the back as Hartwell looking to spin away from some tight Wasp defence. A good throw of the dummy there from Pell, batted back, and Wasps thought they may have had it back for a moment, and looks as though it's going to be a penalty to U.C.S, which Hartwell will look to step up right-footed. Can he get U.C.S back in the game here? He can. So again, those conditions not the greatest, but Hartwell just telling his troops to remain calm under the pressure they're under. They are back within 9 points here as they rumble forward. Have they gone out of play though? The linesman over the far side says not. Thankfully they still have possession. Ball out will be kicked away by Pell. And it'll be out over on the far side for a Wasps throw. They've won the last 3 meetings between these sides of Wasps. Very tight affair, as I mentioned at the start, in September. One of a number of super frustratingly close results that U.C.S have had over the course of this particular campaign. This is game day number 11, and the previous 10 matches see them currently 7th in the table. They do have a little bit of daylight though between the teams underneath them, including Verulamians, who of course came up with them at the end of the previous season. As the penalty will We'll once again see Hartwell in front of the posts. Steps up right-footed. Got the last one. This is a little longer in length, but he's managed to slot it. And that gap closes yet again. 6-point gap now. U.C.S 11, Wasps 17. But Wasps now looking to counter-attack, and they're away down that far side. Real strong run. Huge run, actually. As they look to maybe put through the hands here. Back, over the top, look forward. The pass goes on. Good covering by U.C.S. They're scrambling really, really well. Ball out of the ruck area from Foley. I think that was Back who took the hit up, as once again Wasps rumbling forward here. And it looks as though there is going to be a penalty to the visitors. Wasps have been solid in this particular division for a good few years now. They're looking to get a little closer to Saracens and Hampstead at the top of the second division. Finished third last campaign, winning 10, losing 8 of their matches. And they come into this game following their first defeat of the season, ending a 8-game unbeaten streak that they had. That 2 was a closely fought game against top of the table Hampstead, so they're on top here, and a win would see them close the gap on the leaders to just 4 points, giving them a chance of promotion to the Hertfordshire and Middlesex First Division next season. You'd imagine that U.C.S will just consolidate this year. Again, they've got a decent buffer to the 4 teams below them as the kick goes out on the far side. You'd think unless something catastrophic would happen in the second half of the campaign, they would see themselves survive in the second division this time out. As the kick away, and you can still hear the wind and rain, and you could see just how difficult it was to take that high ball. As again, Wasps may look to counter. Kick from the outside of the right foot, and again an awkward bounce as everybody overran it. And luckily for U.C.S, it was Ollie Boss who was paying attention in cover. Kick over the top will give U.C.S something to chase, but that's going to go out of play. And again, the referee taking his time and just figuring out what's going on, as Hartwell has been allowed to play on here. Well, I think the Wasps man thought that the ball had gone out, or if it did go out, then he told the referee exactly that. Some controversial refereeing calls today. And ultimately, it's that one from the line out that remains the difference here. As a chance now for U.C.S to go out wide and use Ollie Clagg's pace to try and get round the outside. You've got to give it to Wasps, though. Their defence today has been excellent. Lovely little kick, though, from Diego Garces de Marcilla, and that's going to go dead in goal. But there is a penalty, taking out the man following the ball. Now, have U.C.S got anything left to get something out of this game? Little ball to Diego Garces de Marcilla, who knocks on. And Turner looks as though he's been put out of play, but again, the referee just lets things go. Long throw from the line out again. Richardson. As Wasps steal the ball. And they will get it back here. Out of the ruck area as they look to move it away from their own line. They will hope to hang on here. Such atrocious conditions. Is this going to be one of those frustrating days for U.C.S. and Will Jones? They're trying everything they can to get back in this game. There's only a converted score between them and a victory here as they look to see out 2024. But Wasps are just about doing enough to hang on. Certainly been an appreciative crowd of the efforts of the players nonetheless, with the weather playing such a pivotal part in today. Horrible wind and rain. But it's certainly not dampened the quality out on the pitch. Penalty for U.C.S. now then. I would assume that the only thing they will do is look to feed a scrum and run this. Time is of the essence. As Diego Garces de Marcilla gets it out the back. Very well spotted though as they continue to try and offload here. There is still a hope that they can get something here. What can they conjure up? Scrum half play as Diego turns himself in knots. The try scorer, Mahalangu, unfortunately can't make the best of it, and that is full time. Neil Wharton blows the whistle on the final outing of 2024 for both of these sides. Not a game to remember for U.C.S, but a calendar year that they will never forget. Another frustrating loss here this afternoon.